Fanatic Brackets Season 2, Episode 9. I am Nick, your host. It's only going to be me today, one of the co hosts, but today, our guest, I'm joined by one other than Christina. Christina with an H. How are you? How's everything, friend?
Hi, friends. I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing good, thank you. Did I say the friend thing right? I don't know if I said that right, the way you say it. Only you can
It's
say it
okay.
the good way. Uh, But I'm glad to have you on. You decided to come up with the topic this episode of the greatest heel of the 21st century, and the participants. Great bracket that I put together. Well, I'm just going to explain the rules of the show for those listening who have not listened to this episode or the show before. Um, on the screen, on the YouTube screen, if you're watching on YouTube, we have the full bracket up. We're going to go matchup by matchup, determining who we think is a better heel between both participants. Since there's two of us today, what we're going to do is both of us are going to give our opinions. And we're going to be joined by ChatGPT. I'm going to type in what they think AI thinks is a better heel, and we're going to get a response, and we're going to include ChatGPT's vote in there too. So that way we have three. And it's really an opinion based show. There's no specific way to look at it. I'm giving our reasonings, whether they had a better career than the other, heel heat, more accomplishments. There's really no way to show your opinion on how to look at this. But without being out of the way, are you ready to get into the bracket, Christina?
I'm ready.
Okay, let's do it. Let's get into it. We're gonna start off with you with the first matchup because you're our guest, Christina. In your opinion, between Seth Rollins and Dominic Mysterio, who do you think was a better heel?
I just want to say when you sent me the bracket, the people that they matched together. Oh my god, it's so hard.
It
It's
was hard
so
putting it
hard.
together too. So this is why I like about the bracket. It's just very tough to get into.
Because Seth Rollins, when he was doing like his whole Messiah thing, it was like
Yeah,
amazing heel. But then you have like Dominic Mysterio that is probably the only person to like turn heel already being a heel at SummerSlam.
yeah. He turned heel twice in one night. I don't know if that
I
makes sense. Yeah,
know.
yeah.
But I guess I'm gonna say as far as a better heel, it's gonna have to be Dominic.
Okay, okay. That's probably who I'm gonna choose as well. I'm gonna choose Dominic because we hear the reactions every single time he gets out there.
Yes.
With the mic before he even says anything, the crowd
Just
boos him out
like
the
putting
building.
the mic up, it's already boo.
Yeah, yeah. He doesn't even get to say, it has to say anything. But when he does, though, he does capitalize on that crowd reaction very well.
Yeah.
And I think that for someone to turn on their father and also turn, like you said, heel from going heel to even more of a heel in SummerSlam, that's unheard of in wrestling. And I think him being a heel was probably the best decision that could have been for him.
Yeah.
Um, because for a while, Joel and I said this for a while, him being a babyface and behind Ray was like just him being attached to his father.
Yeah.
Um, it was kind of getting boring and stale. So I think um, this saved his career, I think, in my opinion.
Yeah. I don't think he would be like as successful as he is now if he wouldn't have gone heel.
Oh, of course, of
Yeah.
course.
He would
Um,
just be kind of floating around.
yeah, and then joining me, I guess it's because of him joining Judgment Day
Yeah.
specifically.
Hmm.
I don't know how he would have done by himself. That's also a question to think about. It's like, what if he didn't join Judgment Day? How would he be right now? Besides being a heel. Uh, but yeah, I mean, he's been doing a great job at it. So, um, yeah, I had to choose Dominic. So we're gonna go straight to let's um let's see what they do. Um, is it typing? It is typing. Okay, it's giving a whole long response. Let's see what they choose. I'm not gonna read the entire thing because it's gonna take forever. But I'm gonna see what they say as an answer. And it's still typing. Wow. Okay, so they choose Seth Rollins. Okay,
Oh, okay.
they chose Seth Rollins, and I'm going to say what they say. Um, They said Seth Rollins is the more complete heel, with years of consistency, reinvention, and the ability to be hated while also being respected as a top performer. His work as a heel is often layered, mixing genuine villainy with moments of charm that make fans cheer despite themselves. Dominic, however, he has generated more pure heat in a shorter amount of time. He's leaned into being annoying, cowardly heel who gets under the skin of the audience without any redeeming qualities, making him one of WWE's more despised characters today. Um, if you value longevity, versatility, and depth, Seth Rollins is the better heel. But if you're looking at who is currently uh, currently generating the most heat and pure disdain from fans, Dominic might have the edge right now. Oh, so they go Dominic. I mistake that one. They shows Dominic. Okay, makes sense.
Yeah.
Um, I mean,
That's
Seth Rollins also was a great heel. You got to give Seth a slight edge on
no,
that
he was.
because I think the you said that you mentioned the Monday Night Messiah gimmick.
He
That
also
was
turned on Ray.
Ray had the easy target, I guess, because
Everybody turns on Ray.
yeah, everyone's turned on Ray. That's true. Who I feel like someone else turned on Ray recently too. Wasn't it Carlito that
Yeah,
turned on Ray?
yeah.
So it's like everyone's turning on Ray. You got to feel
Everybody
bad
feel
for the
like
guy. Um,
oh,
he got his son and a good friend of his turn. Batista turned on Ray many years ago.
Eddie.
Eddie, I think
Everybody
Ed,
turned on
yeah,
Ray.
everybody, yeah, yeah. So you got to feel bad for Rey Mysterio, man. He's the easy target to go after.
Right.
Yeah. But yeah, Dominic Mysterio sweeps Seth Rollins in this matchup between the two, and he will move on to the next round. Now, this is also gonna get tough too because you have two also great heels going up against each other. We have Kevin Owens going up against JBL.
Mm.
Christina, who do you think was the better heel between the two?
Oh man, that's a tough one.
Yeah,
um, JBL was just mean when he was
yeah, he was.
another guy that turned on Ray. I think.
Probably, I wouldn't be surprised if he did.
Yeah. It's a tough one. I'm gonna say JBL just because like I don't know, he's just like it feels like he was for most part he was always a heel. Like every once in a while he would be like a baby face like when he was in the what's it called APA
APA, yeah,
and but most of his like solo career he was a heel. And then Kevin, I feel like Kevin goes back and forth a lot, like with the audience. He'll be like cool with Sammy, and then he'll turn on Sammy. And then he's
yeah,
cool with Sammy, and then he'll turn on Sammy. And just like right now, everybody's just waiting for him to turn on Cody.
yeah, yeah,
But he is a really good heel. Like he really is. Like when he gets the crowd like to go against him, they're against him.
yeah, yeah. That is true. I mean, I'm gonna agree with you with the JBL part because I mean, there's a lot of storylines when he did his solo run that you probably can't even talk about to this day.
Right.
Um, then it's like Jesus Christ. The more you look back at it, it's like again, it's like who allowed this on TV? Like that's
Yeah.
something you wouldn't be able to see in TV nowadays. And it's like, I mean, not saying I commend it or think it's a good idea, but it's like to be able to
Yeah.
have that type of story and be comfortable with it, um, shows how far he'll go to get that heat. And I think that also kind of bouncing off of what I said about Dominic, it's like also helped his career a little
Mhm.
bit as a solo. Kevin Owens, another great heel. Like um, he, what I would say he was like one of the most genuine hated heels that we've seen in a while. So I give him that one. Like I'll give him that to be like, all right, he was a good heel. Um, a lot of people hated him, but JBL was on a different level at that time. So I've got to give it to JBL on this one. So Gonna turn it over to ChatGPT to see what they say. I'm going to share this one, and they are gonna go with JBL. From what they're saying, they say JBL is a better heel. His run as a villainous, arrogant, rich tycoon during his WWE Championship reign made him one of the most hated figures in wrestling. JBL consistently drew intense heat for his el- elitist persona and underhanded tactics, embodying a classic heel. They're using big words in these sentences.
Right?
Yeah, I can't even read them.
It's
Kevin
just
Owens is
wrestling.
yeah, it's wrestling exactly. Yeah, I'm not- Kevin Owens is great, but JBL's long-lasting impact as a detestable heel sets him apart.
Yeah,
Um,
I agree with that.
yeah, those are true. Those are true. Uh, he's just arrogant. I mean, Kevin Owens again. I agree with you on that part where it's like he's back and forth on
Hmm.
it. So it's like I don't know because he's good when he is a heel, but it's like
I
um
feel like people like him more as a baby face than a heel. So
yeah.
like more people feel to be like behind JBL as a heel when even when he was like managing what's his name uh Baron
Corbin.
Corbin, and
Yeah.
like even as a manager, even as a commentator, he's a heel.
Yeah, that is true. That is very true.
He's just like he's one of the like people that you think back, you say heel JBL.
Yeah. He's up there. I think there's a lot of he gets that he's somebody who loves people love to hate.
Yeah.
And I think nowadays it's like if you're doing a good job as a heel, people will cheer for you.
Yeah.
And Kevin Owens would probably be that guy.
Yeah, I think so too.
So I love him as a heel, but um JBL probably takes the win here. Next matchup, we do have Sheamus versus the Viper Randy Orton. Christina, who do you think is a better heel and why?
Oh, I'm gonna go with Orton just because Orton, like early Orton, like bro, he
Yeah,
was just he was just like he didn't care about anything. He didn't. You just couldn't tell him nothing. He was just an arrogant little shithead.
yeah. True.
I mean, like I know also like today everybody's just waiting for him to turn on Cody or turn on Kevin as well, but I just feel like right now he's a great baby face, but it also has to do with like him coming back from injury. Like we weren't 100% sure if we were ever going to see Randy again. So I feel like now he would be like considered like one of the biggest baby face, but like his earlier days, like he was just a little. I feel like he from the stories we hear, he was like a heel, like in front of and behind the cameras.
Yeah, that is
I
true. That is
mean,
true.
Sheamus is a was a good heel as well, but I feel like now I see him like kind of like a locker room leader for like the European people that are coming in new. I feel like they kind of like grab like when they put him together with Ridge and Pete Dunne, you know. So
Yeah.
I feel like his heel days might kind of be over. But like between Randy and Sheamus, I would have to give Randy being the better heel.
Yeah. I'm gonna also agree with you with this one as well. I mean, I'm gonna also go with Randy. It's just he spent most of his career as a heel too.
Yeah,
Um, he God, I think it was like 2008 to 2010, that era when he shaved his head completely.
bald Randy.
Bald Randy. That was a different breed of being a heel.
Yeah,
You don't see heels like that anymore. From punting people, no matter who you were, if you were on the floor set up in that position, you were getting punted. Um, he didn't care who you were. He even kissed Stephanie McMahon in front of Triple H. Like, if
yeah.
that doesn't piss you off, I don't know what will.
Yeah.
Um, so that for someone to be able to do that, that's crazy, man. That is crazy. I remember I hated him back then. It was
Oh,
just
I
like
know.
it was impossible not to hate him. It was like there's nothing. Again, I said this before, and I was like, nowadays you cheer people who you think are doing good at being a heel.
Right.
If Randy was that character today, I don't think that would happen with him. It'll be
Uh-uh.
like to genuinely give you genuine heel heat, and
Yeah.
that's what I liked about Orton being that heel character back then.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, I'm gonna have to go with Orton. Let's see what ChatGPT will say. Oh, and they're going to choose Randy Orton as well. They said Randy Orton is the better heel. His Viper persona, with his aggression and cold blooded tactics, including legendary betrayals and vicious attacks, make him one of the most despised and iconic villains in wrestling history. While Sheamus had the strong heel runs, Orton's psychological edge and longevity as a top heel give him a clear advantage. You also got to remember that Sheamus also won his first championship in his first try in a tables match by accident, you know?
Oh.
So like it was like people hated that back then.
Yeah.
People hated him from that because it was like that people thought Cena was gonna win, but Cena put him over, and it was like, damn. Um, but he was a great heel. They set him up pretty strong, but I think they also quickly changed him to a baby face
Yeah.
within a short time. So I do agree with ChatGPT said. It was like he has the longevity. In this one, that's the
Definitely.
only like slight edge I give it to Orton. But Sheamus was a good heel. He did his job as a heel.
Yeah.
Um,
But like the chat said, I mean, if you were to give it like a percentage, I would say like 90% of Randy Orton's career was heel. And
yeah,
Sheamus maybe the opposite, like a 20/80.
it's like what you said with Owens. It's like he would flip flop here and there.
Yeah.
So it was like it wasn't consistency except for the beginning maybe. But I'm going to yeah, this Orton had the longevity there. Next matchup, we do have Wade Barrett versus Jimmy Uso, the heel Uso. Who do you think was the better heel between these two, and why? This is actually a good matchup.
Yeah, it is. Like, I will tell you, nothing broke my heart like last year at SummerSlam when Jimmy
Ooh.
Uso super kicked his twin brother.
Yeah, yeah,
And I'm sure most fans agree, like, that was a heartbreaking moment.
it was. It was
But
unexpected too.
it was, yeah. But, like, I feel like Jimmy Uso is just like a funny heel. Like, he's freaking hilarious.
Yeah, but that also gets people to get you pissed off at him too. It's like,
I
god damn it,
know.
because you can
But
never take him serious.
you can't, because like what are you doing? Like
Yeah,
anybody, like in the Royal Rumble, anybody that would attack his brother, then he'd
yeah,
be over here like high five.
yeah, yeah.
I'm just
Uh,
like, he's not what you consider like a conventional heel. He's like a comical heel.
yeah, that is true. That is true. Yeah,
But Wade Barrett, he was nasty.
yeah, yeah.
Especially when he debuted with the Nexus and they were trying to take out Cena.
Oh,
And then
yeah,
I feel like Wade Barrett, for most of his career as well, he was actually a heel. Because, I mean, he was in the Nexus, and then they had like the core or whatever. And then Bad News Barrett. And then even as a commentator, he's a color commentator. So he's always
yeah.
the heel. So I'm gonna go with Wade Barrett just for the longevity. He's been a heel longer because I feel like besides Jimmy Uso's solo run right now, his heel
Yeah,
run was with his brother. So
that is true. Yeah,
I'll give
yeah.
it to Wade.
I think I'm gonna give it. I'm gonna be with you in this one too. I mean, I'm gonna go with Wade because you're right. I thought about it and once you said it, it was like he hasn't been a babyface. Maybe when his Bad News Barrett thing started to get hot was when
Yeah.
people started to cheer for him because that was like an over gimmick for him. But I think from being the leader of the Nexus, taking out everybody that first night when they debuted, they destroyed that ring. Um, so I think that kind of set the bar for him as a heel, and they made him have a strong presence from the start. Um, and it really did. He was arrogant too. Like,
Yeah.
he was good with his words. He got under your skin, and again, you were right about him being a heel commentator. He's technically a heel commentator. Between the two, so he's been doing a great job at it, and I think he was probably better than Jimmy Uso. Again, he was a comic, like you said, a comedic heel. No one could take him serious. And I'm pretty sure he's gonna come back as a babyface anyways.
Yeah.
Um, it's because of the storyline that they're doing with him. But
And everybody
um,
like doing the like all over social media, the missing Jimmy Uso. Like
yeah,
he's gonna. It's like it would be weird if he did come back as a heel, but I'm pretty sure he's gonna come back as a babyface.
yeah. I mean that you were right before too about like him. You know, him kind of switching up on Jay at SummerSlam. I think it was. Um, that it was unexpected, but it was still like it wasn't treated serious from the backstage roles. So yeah, I had to choose Wade Barrett. Let's see what Chat GPT has to say. And of course, they're going to agree with us as well. They do say Wade Barrett um, is the better heel. As the leader of the Nexus, Barrett brought chaos and destruction to WWE, as we said, commanding a group that made him a top villain early in his career. His bad news Barrett persona also drew great heat for his arrogance. While Jimmy Uso has recently embraced a heel role as well, Barrett's impact as a leading heel and his ability to control a faction give him the edge. Um, yeah, so they basically agreed with us for a fourth time in a row.
Right?
Yeah, I'm like so far every matchup has been swept. I hope something changes as we go along the line.
Oh my
But
gosh. I don't
this
want to
is
do the next one.
me neither. But I'll start off with the next one. I'll start with the next
Okay.
one, so that way we can get the ball rolling there. We
Those are
have The
my two
Rock.
favorite wrestlers.
Yeah, you can just do a coin toss when you get to you.
Right?
Yeah.
Just close
The
my
Rock.
eyes and pick one.
Yeah, The Rock and Eddie Guerrero. I'm gonna have to choose Eddie Guerrero with this one because I feel like the lying, cheating, stealing thing was an iconic way to get a lot of heel heat. And it's something that like is still being used today in wrestling.
Hmm.
So he I guess you could say he inspired generations of heels in the company. And he used to do it so smoothly. It was like a lot of people do it smoothly now too, but he used to get away with it as if like his life depended on it. Like if like he was like his rent was due. It was like he
Yeah.
used to get away with it. And it was like damn. Um, but it was good. He liked the way he did that. The Rock also good with his words. Um, and he used to get you pissed off because he was a great promo artist. He used to cut a lot of great heel promos that also got you to hate him. But for me, it was just I was a big fan of that lying, cheating, stealing gimmick that he used to do. Um, so I'm gonna have to choose Eddie with that one. Do you have an answer, Christina? I know these are your favorite. Do you have an answer?
Oh man. Like I think I'm gonna go with The Rock because I feel like Eddie's lie, cheat, and steal thing like started out as kind of like a heel gimmick, but then it eventually turned into like more comedic, like which made it more
Yeah,
popular. But I mean, The Rock, like, there's just like really nobody that compares to The Rock on the mic. Like, if he's being a heel baby face, if he's just talking, like, he just has that charisma and that. And then I think too, just recently when it was implied that it was going to be Rock versus Roman, like, he got the whole internet stirred up, thinking that it was going to be Rock versus Roman, and he didn't even say anything. All he
yeah,
did was stand in the ring with Roman and they stared at each other and the whole internet went crazy. That's when all the Cody crybabies came
yeah,
out and
yeah,
the internet was trending. We want Cody, we want Cody. And I was like, he didn't even have to speak and he just
yeah.
instantly became a heel. So I'm going to say The Rock.
Ooh, good one, good one. So let's see what ChatGPT says. Um, to narrow down, gotta type it in. Give me a second.
Even though I love Eddie. Eddie's my dude.
I know he is my dude. That's why I had to choose him too. I love The Rock, but Eddie has to be my guy. Ooh, and then they choose Eddie Guerrero.
Oh, okay.
They say Eddie Guerrero was the better heel. His lie, cheat, and steal persona was iconic, blending with humor and underhanded tactics to make him both entertaining and despised. Eddie's ability to manipulate audiences while still drawing massive reactions set him apart. While The Rock had memorable heel moments, Eddie's cunning and creativity as a villain make him the superior heel. And I will
Yeah,
100% agree with that. That is,
yeah, I agree. I mean,
yeah,
they were both great. I love them both. That's like my top one and two right there. My top five.
probably. I mean, it's both of them were great heels. I mean, I do agree with ChatGPT said with like The Rock had more iconic heel moments,
Yeah,
but it was just Eddie had a different route and how he portrayed himself as a heel.
yeah,
So I'm gonna have to agree with that. That's why kind of the reason why I chose Eddie for that. But yeah, Eddie moves on. So we're gonna go with that. Next matchup, we got Triple H versus The Miz.
ooh, that's another
Um,
hard one.
I know, I know. Who do you think, Christina? Do you want to start with this one too, or do you not have an answer yet? If you want, I can go first with this one. Um,
I got an answer.
okay.
I'm gonna go with the Miz, just because, like, personally, I always despised the Miz.
Yeah.
Like, oh, every time he was on my screen, I just wanted to punch him.
Yeah. Just wanted to go through my TV and be like,
Yeah, like, shut up.
yeah,
And I mean, Triple H, he was a good heel as well. But he was like more one of my favorites growing up.
yeah,
So I would have to give it to the Miz. But like, I feel like now that I'm older, an older fan, I appreciate the Miz and I understand it more. But like growing up, the watching the Miz, I just hated him.
me too, me too.
Like, oh, so annoying. And then when he would bring his wife, and his wife would just be like, giving him all his flowers, I'm just like, oh my
Yeah, that added a
god.
lot to it. I do agree with you. I'm gonna go with the Miz too with this one. He was someone that everyone loved to hate. I don't think you met anyone that loved the Miz character wise. I'm pretty sure nowadays people give him his flowers.
Yeah.
But at that time, especially most of his career, people hated him.
Yep.
He was obnoxious. He got under people's skin. He was cocky, arrogant. Every other synonym that goes along with those words you can
Yes.
describe as the Miz. He made kids cry. There was a
Oh yeah, the Miss
that
girl.
that Miz girl. Um, so I mean that shout out to the creative team for even doing that. Like
Yeah.
we wouldn't have known if they didn't pan to that girl.
Yeah.
Um, but that's also that reaction got people to hate him even more. You made a child upset.
Yeah.
Um, so that added more to his heel impact, I guess. But what a guy! I mean, the Miz. I mean, like you said, like as I get older, I appreciate him more as a heel and what he's done. You could tell that he's passionate about what he does, and he loves being a heel. He genuinely loves what he does. And even now, you turn on R-Truth, one of the loved characters in the business right
Oh
now.
my god, I know.
So it was like to be able to do that, I think you have no soul. I'm sorry,
Yeah.
right? Um,
Yeah.
so that says a lot about his character. So I have to go with the Miz there too. We're gonna see what ChatGPT says, and they're going with Triple H. They said
Oh.
Triple H is the better heel. His ruthless dominance as the leader of Evolution, the Authority,
Oh
and
yeah,
his
the
talent.
Authority was a good heel run. Everybody
Exactly.
hated him and Stephanie.
Yeah. His countless betrayals solidified him as one of wrestling's most despised and influential villains. While The Miz excels as being annoying, arrogant heel, Triple H's long-term impact, viciousness, and ability to control the main event scene as a villain make him the superior heel.
Well, that,
Um,
that makes sense. I agree with that. Like we said, the Miz is annoying and stuff, but Triple H, like him being Triple H, he could like when he put himself in the main event of WrestleMania. You know, he's just like,
Yeah,
I'm there.
yeah. So do you still stand with the Miz then, or do you switch your answer?
No, I'm gonna stay with the
You just
Miz,
stay
but
with
I
the Miz.
agree. I can see what the chat is saying.
Yeah, because I remember him switching on Seth Rollins that Universal Championship match.
Yeah,
So there are some things where it's like, God damn it, Triple H, of course he would do that.
yeah, he
Um,
definitely put his power, his influence,
yeah,
power. Yeah,
exactly. So there's many reasons why you can hate someone like Triple H. So I understand, I agree. Like I agree what ChatGPT says, but I personally hated the Miz a lot more um than Triple H did. It was like I hate him with a passion. Um, so yeah, the Miz will move on to the next round. Next matchup, we do have Roman Reigns going up against Dolph Ziggler. Uh, your screen went black. Yeah, so next matchup is Roman Reigns versus Dolph Ziggler. Um, I'm gonna kick this one off because I feel like I know my answer pretty well. I'm gonna go with Roman Reigns. I feel like Roman Reigns was and is a great heel. I don't know what he is at the moment because he's kind of teaming with Cody. You know, I guess you could say he's a babyface, but during his 4 years specifically, um, people he got people to hate him immediately. His aura, I guess people using that word aura,
yeah.
um, is unmatched. I guess he doesn't have to show up a lot, which I guess is part of the reason why people hate him so much. And I guess that's the point too. Like they're trying not to make him show up often to get that heel reaction. And his position as the tribal chief really gets people upset, bossing his family around, telling his cousins what to do. Um, and being that arrogant guy really pisses a lot of people off, especially when he says "acknowledge me," like city, whatever the city is, acknowledge me. You hear that reaction of a lot of boos from the audience. Some people go along with it, some people love him, but
Me.
yeah, yeah. Yeah. So I don't know if you would consider him as a heel. You love him, but but yeah, I think, but people do boo him though, and it's his past 4 years as he spent like 1,000 something days as champion. People didn't like that. People wanted him to end it so soon. Um, with all of that, I just feel like that's like his level of being a heel was top notch, and he's been doing a great job at it. So for me, I'm gonna have to go with Roman Reigns on that one. Who do you have, Christina?
I agree. Roman is just like he's like on another level of everything. Greatness, healed.
Yeah,
No, like you said, I mean Roman Reigns is also one of my favorites. I love him, and as like I don't see him as a heel because me, I'm gonna like root for him,
yeah,
but I can see what he's doing as a heel. Like, he's just like everything about him, like the way he would like talk to his family, the way he would just like look at him, and then like the way he used to walk out. I don't know if you've noticed, but like before WrestleMania, how he would take forever to walk to the ring and just be like almost like with his nose up high, kind of like belittling the
yeah.
other people.
His
And
posture was
now,
like,
yeah,
yeah,
he's like, like y'all are
yeah,
beneath me. And then like now when he comes out, he still comes out slower, but he's like, I feel like he's gone back to that big dog walk where he's like, he's like this, and like just like he's just like feeling all the cheers because he's like in between. Like he
yeah,
cut his promo, he said, everything changes, but I haven't changed. It's just which is true. He hasn't changed. It's just everybody wanted him back,
yeah, yeah.
so that we just made him a baby face without him actually being a baby face. But no, definitely Roman Reigns is like just everything he did is on a different level. Like
That is 100% true. I mean, I didn't really think about that. It's really just the same gimmick, just people
just
just
we
cheering
made
him.
it just we cheer him now, or well, I've always cheered him, but
Yeah,
everybody else cheers him now.
yeah, yeah. But
But
yeah,
I
that
mean,
is true. That is true, though.
Dolph Ziggler was a good heel though. Like he's up there with the Miz to where like I hated him every time he was on my screen. He was just like when he would come out and when he would wear the title like on his back. I'm
Back,
like,
yeah.
oh, that is so disrespectful to the
I
title.
just think with him and Vicky together was like
Oh my god,
that was annoying because Vicky in
so
general was a great
annoying.
heel.
Ugh.
So just pairing them two together was like a perfect match, and it was
Yeah,
like, of course they would get
definitely
people to hate
elevated
him.
him and his heel status.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, I mean, so I do give Ziggler his props with being a
Yeah,
good heel, but it's like I think Roman Reigns was on a different level, like I said before. So like, if it were against anybody else on this list, I'll probably give it to Dolph Ziggler.
except
But
for the Miz.
yeah, except for the Miz, yeah, probably. But Ziggler was on something. It was he Roman
Yeah.
Reigns is something else though. Let's see what ChatGPT says. And they're going to go with Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns is the better heel. His transformation to the tribal chief has been one of the most compelling heel runs in recent memory, with his dominance, manipulation, and ruthless leadership of the bloodline making him a top villain, while Dolph Ziggler has had some solid heel moments. Roman's character's depth, longevity, and his control of WWE's main event scene give him the clear edge. I agree with all those, and especially we were recording this before Bad Blood. So uh, he is technically the main event after being, you know, away for a few months.
Yeah.
This is technically his first match back, so it's like he's already pictured back there. That makes sense. Um, yeah, it's just his growth. You know, people wanted to hate him for such a long time, and they finally had the chance to.
I
So
know. It's like, and I mean, I remember back in like I think it was like 2015 when everybody was hating him. I was like, why are y'all hating him? I love
yeah,
this man. I love that man since he debuted. I don't know, like I've just been bloodline since day one.
yeah, yeah. You're the honorary
Anybody,
Uso. You're honorary Uso.
yes,
Yeah,
The Rock, Rikishi, Roman, the Usos, like
you're wearing a main
Zelina.
event Jey Uso shirt.
I
So
am
yeah,
our
so
IC champion.
yeah, yeah. Yeet, yeet.
Yes.
Um. So yeah, I mean Roman Reigns is on top of the world. I know
He
he's
is. He's just great.
yeah, he's great. I love him, man. But yeah, Roman Reigns moves on to the next round. Uh, Last matchup of the first round, we have Drew McIntyre versus Gunther.
Oh,
Um, who do you think Andrew was the better heel and why? This is a good one.
I know, man. Okay, so I'm gonna say the better heel is Gunther,
Ooh,
but I love Drew McIntyre. That's why.
why do you say Gunther?
He's just so like he's kind of like kind of like I was saying with Roman Reigns. Like he just comes out and he just knows that he's better than you, and he acts like he's better than you. And like he called Damian Priest street trash.
Yeah, yeah,
Like, I don't know. And I mean, like, for Drew McIntyre, like, he is a good heel too. Like, but I just feel like, because you probably know I can't stand CM Punk. He is like
yeah.
my most hated wrestler ever in the world.
So you would cheer for Drew McIntyre
So for
either way.
me right now, Drew McIntyre, probably for the rest of the world, he's doing like heel things, but I'm
Yeah,
okay with it because I don't like CM Punk. So,
yeah,
but no, when he was like, I feel like his early career, he was just kind of like there, but like since he's been back, I feel like, he did have a good heel run, with the Scottish psychopath and all that, but I just feel like Gunther's just he's another one that's just mean. Like he just like he
yeah,
wouldn't give Sammy the title match and he didn't give him the match till after he beat him up. Like, bro,
yeah,
give him a match.
yeah. That is true.
But yeah, I think Gunther's he's just mean.
Yeah, I know. You could make really good points for either person, but for me, I'm gonna have to go with Drew McIntyre.
Oh,
I
okay.
think the things that I'm not a big CM Punk fan, but I don't hate Punk. But like everything that
That's
Drew
good.
McIntyre had, everything that McIntyre has done, his trolling level is something else.
Yeah.
What he posts on social media, how he's taking shots at AJ Lee and his dog.
Oh, and that fan. He
Yeah,
joined in with that fan that made the bracelet.
exactly. And his social media work too. Do you follow him on social media to see what he does? It's
Oh,
like he's taking shots at him on social media like every chance he gets.
yes.
And it's funny. It's like, damn, it really gets you pissed off, but it's funny. He's
Yeah.
trolling so much. And I love Gunther. I agree with everything that you said about Gunther. He's calling Damien street trash. He's really going in on what he's saying with words. You know, especially now with Sammy. But I think Drew McIntyre is like, this is his best work we've seen from him in a while.
Yeah.
And I think that he reinvented himself, and I'm glad they went with this direction with McIntyre. I'm just a big fan. I'm a bigger fan of it than Gunther. Not saying I don't like Gunther. I love what he's doing as a heel. He's a great heel as well, but oh man, McIntyre is just it's
He's
just
just
I just
funny.
love it. Yeah.
I
Yeah.
just love Drew. I just love everything about Drew.
I mean, yeah, that is true, yeah. I love it, but I hate it. I hate what he's talking about, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I get
Um,
it.
yeah, so I'm gonna go with McIntyre. Let's see what ChatGPT has to say about. Oh no, they went with Gunther is the better heel. His dominant, no nonsense persona as the ring general, combined with his brutal, hard hitting style and commanding presence, makes him a fearsome villain. Gunther's reign of terror as Intercontinental Champion has made him a standout heel. While Drew McIntyre has had effective heel moments, Gunther's consistency and menacing aura give him the advantage as a top villain. I guess. I guess.
And
I
I
mean,
feel kind of the same with like Drew McIntyre. He's kind of like Sheamus nowadays. Like I feel, because I don't know if you saw Joe Hendry with CVV, I think it was.
yeah.
He was talking about how Drew McIntyre in Scotland was kind of like the Undertaker of the locker room. Like everybody would like go towards him as sort of like the locker room leader.
Oh,
And I
yeah.
feel like a lot of European talent is doing like the same with Drew McIntyre.
That makes sense. I mean, I guess so, yeah. I mean,
And
I'm assuming he's a nice guy in real life, but like,
oh
yeah,
yeah, I mean, usually the best heels are like the nicest in real life.
yeah, yeah. That's so true. That's so true. I heard Dom's also a very nice guy too. So,
Yeah,
yeah, that is also true. I guess so. But I mean, I'm not mad at Gunther winning this. I mean, going to the next round. He's also doing a great job. I just resonated more with McIntyre stuff. But we are going to the next round. Um, This is getting interesting. We got Dominic Mysterio going up against JBL. This is tough.
this
This
is
is tough.
very tough.
But I'm gonna start this one off because I feel like I have my answer. I'm gonna go with JBL. And the reason why I say JBL is because again, I mean I know it's two different generations, but you have JBL, like I said in the first round, he had storylines to where we can't even say those things today. I don't even think they can show it on TV anymore.
Hmm.
And I know it's not really his thing. Like, I'm pretty sure he was told what to say, told what to do.
Yeah,
Um, but I was like, damn, that's like, you can't compare heel stuff to that. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, Dominic can barely get a word in when he talks, but it's like, JBL is just always knows how to get under people's skin, and it's like I think it's like I don't want to say boss mode level heel because I think Roman has that position.
yeah,
Um,
they're
but
definitely close.
exactly, he's like up there too. It's like Roman and JBL. I
Yeah,
have that close. But yeah, I had to go with JBL on that one. Christina, who do you think, JBL or Dominic Mysterio?
I'm gonna agree with you just because Dom's still kind of new. He's been in
Yeah,
the company what, if 5 years, not even five
probably.
years yet. I don't
Yeah,
know. And JBL was just he was probably like 95% of his career a heel.
yeah,
And so, and like you said, it's just two different generations. Like JBL was just like mean, racist,
yeah,
heel. And then Dominic Mysterio, people are just mad at him because he betrayed Rhea, which is a valid reason.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
But yeah, I'm gonna go with JBL.
Yeah, true. Let's see what Chat GPT will say. And they are agreeing with us. They are saying that JBL is the better heel. His arrogant, elitist wrestling god persona, combined with his long WWE Championship reign, made him one of the most hated villains of his era. While Dominic Mysterio draws great heat, JBL's ability to generate lasting, deep hatred through his character and actions gives him the edge and is a more effective heel. And I feel like they're listening to us because they say the same thing that we're saying.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, it's different eras. I think that's why I would give it more to JBL over Dom. Dom's gonna get there one day. I feel like if we are doing this 10 years from now, I'm pretty sure I could say Dom over JBL.
Yeah.
Um, but I think it's still too early for his career. So slight edge to JB on that one. Next matchup we have is Randy Orton going up against Wade Barrett. Um, who do you have, Christine? I'm going to start off with you with this one.
Um, they're both really good heels, and then I feel like their rivalry was like A1.
Yeah.
um, dang, it's hard.
Right. Yeah.
Um, I'm gonna say Randy.
Hey, Randy. Like
Yeah.
Riddle does. Hey,
Just because I mean he was just so mean. Like
yeah.
like I mean he punted people in the head.
Yeah.
I mean like Wade I feel like Wade was more of like a talkative heel, you know? And Randy was more like actions like
Hmm.
remember during the pandemic when Edge came back? Like
Yeah.
those matches they had, you're just like, dang, he's mean.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I'm going to agree with you too. I'm going to go with Randy Orton. I feel like again, you said he's mean. He RKO'd Beth Phoenix during that
Yeah.
time. And again, the one thing that stands out with Orton for me is not just the punting part, but him kissing, like I said before, him kissing Stephanie in front of Triple H. Um, and doing all this stuff that not a lot of people would do, you know?
Uh-uh.
Um, he got you to hate him a lot. He really got you pissed off at him. And it was just him. He doesn't look scary. He looked mean. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Not a lot of people can say they look mean, let alone act mean to somebody. So there's not a lot of people that can do that, and Orton probably defines that a lot. Um,
And
not
then
just
like didn't he like RKO one of the older ladies? Was it
May Young.
yeah, May Young.
May Young, yeah, yeah. I
I
think
mean, come on.
yeah, I was the savageness on him is like
Yeah,
insane.
very savage.
Pretty savage, yeah. So let's go to see what ChatGPT says. And they're going to go with Randy Orton as well. They said that Randy Orton is a better heel. His ability to portray a cold, calculating villain with a dangerous edge has made him one of the most memorable heels in wrestling history. I agree with that. Orton's long-standing legacy, characterized by his brutal tactics and psychological mind games, surpasses Wade Barrett's impactful but shorter heel run, making Orton a standout heel in the heel category. 1,000% agree with that. Um, so yeah, 2 sweeps in a row for JBL and Orton.
Yep.
Um, but we shall see if that changes. But next matchup, we do have Eddie Guerrero versus The Miz. This is a tough one. This is a tough one.
Very.
Oh,
Uh,
but I think I'll start this one off.
okay.
Yeah, I want to go with The Miz though. Um, again, I love Eddie's tactics and what he does with the lying, cheating, and stealing part. But I also love what the Miz, he's I would say if there was a Mount Rushmore of all time, of heels, the Miz would be up there. And
Definitely.
he could be. You could make the argument for him. I don't know if he'll be on a lot of people's Mount Rushmores, but he'll definitely be close to it.
Yeah.
And I do think, like I said in the first round, he just was very arrogant, made children cry. He was a heel for 95% of his career as well. And he knew how to get under people's skin. And he was also somebody like an Orton, and it's very rare to see that type of heel. Is that he doesn't have to, like, if you show a non-wrestling fan a picture of the Miz, they'll say like, oh, he looks like he's a bad guy. He looks mean. He
Yeah.
looks like very arrogant. You could tell. You could just look at his face and automatically tell that from the Miz. Um,
Just don't show a picture with his family.
oh yeah, that's a different Miz. Yeah,
I think that's one thing that kind of like, made me change my mind a little bit about the Miz was watching his reality show, and I was like, okay, so he's actually a good guy.
yeah, yeah, yeah. He's probably also super nice in real life too. Like we said
Right?
before,
Yeah.
yeah,
Imagine.
he's a great heel, probably a nicer dude in real life. Um, but yeah, I'm gonna have to go with the Miz. Christina, who do you have going up in this next round?
I'm going to agree with you as the Miz, just because you know I love Eddie Guerrero, and to me, in my eyes, when we're talking about heels, the better heel would be the Miz, just because I loved Eddie Guerrero, and like I said, eventually his like lie, cheat, and steal turned into more like comedy, which made people like root for him. So when we're talking heels, it'll be the Miz.
Yeah, without a doubt, without a doubt. Let's see what ChatGPT says. And they're actually going to go with Eddie Guerrero. They're saying Eddie
Oh,
Guerrero is the better heel. I mean, the Miz won anyways, but his lie, cheat, steal persona was not only entertaining, but also showcases cunning and charisma, allowing him to manipulate both opponents and the audience with ease. Eddie's ability to evoke genuine heat while maintaining a level of respect from fans set him apart, while The Miz, though skilled, lacks the same depth and legacy in his heel role. I differ from that actually.
yeah, I don't agree with that.
Yeah, um, but the Miz won anyways. He's going to the
Yeah.
next round, regardless. Now this is going to also be tough. We got Roman Reigns going up against Gunther. I think I know who you're choosing, Christina. There's an obvious one. Is it who I think you're choosing or no?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll just give him a point. Is there any reason for that, or just because you love him?
Yeah, besides the fact that I love him, it's just, don't get me wrong, it is a hard decision because Gunther, they're like different types of heels. Like, Gunther is just like mean to where he like talks down to everybody.
Yeah,
But then Roman is just kind of like, like when you have your siblings and mom puts you in charge,
yeah,
like you do what I say. I'm in charge. Mom said.
yeah, yeah,
If I had to compare the different type of heels. So yeah,
yeah,
Gunther's just mean, and then Roman is just like he's just great at everything. I
yeah. Pretty
might be
much.
biased, but he's just great at everything.
And I 100% agree. Roman Reigns is just he's the progression of his heel work throughout the 4 years. At first, it was like, all right, he's back as a heel, new gimmick, but he was able to make history over the next 4 years,
Yeah,
and um, you know, it's that's I don't. I mean, I'm not saying Gunther won't be able to do that, but like Gunther has also made history, the longest reigning IC champion. He also holds the longest, I think NXT UK championship reign as well. So he's also making history as being a heel, but it's just Roman Reigns has hit a level of superstardom to where it's like it's gonna be a while till someone gets to that level.
yeah.
Um
I
it's-
mean, and I think Gunther also like he can relate to Roman in that way. With the long title run, it wasn't as long as Roman's, but
yeah,
it was long. I mean, it's the longest. I think he beat the Honky Tonk Man, and then also I don't think he was ever pinned. So he got pinned by like Sami Zayn was the first time he was ever pinned on
yeah,
the main roster. So I can see the resemblance. He's up there too, but it's like you said, it's gonna take somebody. It's gonna have to be somebody big to get up to that Roman status.
yeah. I mean Gunther could do that, but like I think Roman Reigns has to be out for a while for someone to catch up to him like that.
Yeah,
But yeah, but I had to choose Roman. Roman's been doing a phenomenal job as a heel. Um, from his heel run, he now is a babyface. But let's see what Chat GPT will say, and they're agreeing with us. They're gonna go with Roman Reigns. They said Roman Reigns is the better heel. His transformation into the Tribal Chief has redefined his character, showcasing a blend of dominance, manipulation, and emotional storytelling. Also true that has captivated audiences. Reigns' ability to command the main event scene and his compelling storyline with the Bloodline have established him as one of the top heels in recent wrestling history, surpassing Gunther's impressive but less impactful heel run. Less impactful? Damn.
I don't agree with that statement.
Yeah, that they're throwing shade at Gunther at this point. Jesus.
Right? Why you
Yeah.
being shady, Chad?
Yeah, come on, Chad. Jesus Christ. Gunther's not doing a terrible job. It's just Roman Reigns is wow. They must hate Gunther. I don't know what it is. But yeah, we do have our final four: JBL, Randy Orton, The Miz, and Roman Reigns. Not bad of
Oh,
heels. Not bad heels.
mm-mm.
Um, but let's get into the final four. Let's go JBL versus Randy Orton. Christina, who do you think was the better heel?
God, Lee.
This is tough. Yeah, yeah.
Talk about damn great heels. I don't know. Do you have an answer?
I do.
Okay.
I would say Randy Orton because again, oh man, it really was tough though to decide because both of them are good heels for different reasons. Um, and they were never liked. I said this earlier in the first round where it's like, Randy Orton and there's a lot of people currently that like are heels, but people now all of a sudden switch up and be like, "All right, they're doing a great job as a heel. I'm gonna root for them now," and
Yeah.
everyone starts cheering for them. I think now if we have JBL and Randy Orton in today's world of wrestling, I mean Randy Orton's still competing, but um, if you have his Legend Killer gimmick now, people wouldn't love it, like to cheer for it all of a sudden. Same thing with JBL. But like I said before as well, the savagery on Randy Orton to be able to do the things that he was doing on TV. And yeah, JBL's was much worse, but you wouldn't be able to see that in today's world. So it'd probably be different for JBL as a heel today. Um, so I think Randy Orton could do a lot with that, and I think it was just I hated him a lot more. I hated him a lot more. Um, JBL was like it was cool. It elevated his career. It helped him in a way. But Randy Orton's consistency as a heel made it a lot better for him. So I'm gonna have to go with Randy Orton on that one. Who do you got? JBL or Randy Orton?
Jeez.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with Randy Orton just because I feel like JBL would pick Randy Orton over himself. Because I mean, if you think about it, if you listen to JBL talk about Randy Orton on commentary, he's always said if you were to build a sports entertainer from heads up, it would be Randy Orton.
That is true. Yeah.
So I feel like JBL would give Randy Orton his. That's I don't know. I can't pick. Like they're both great heels. Like I hated both of them. Like when JBL was going against Eddie and
Yeah.
Ray, and he was just so racist. My little Mexican side is like, hey.
Yeah, you can talk about that.
And then like Randy just like the Legend Killers, like
Yeah.
he took out Mick Foley. Like how do you Mick Foley? Like everybody loves Mick Foley.
Yeah. 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 That is
But
so
yeah,
true.
even though JBL was like, had a longer career, was a heel longer, he was meaner. I'm just gonna go with Randy Orton.
Yeah, that is true. That is true. Let's see what ChatGPT says. And they're going to agree with us. They're going to go with
Okay.
Randy Orton as the better heel. His cold, calculated demeanor and unpredictable aggression have made him a standout villain in various eras of WWE. Orton's ability to blend psychological warfare with ruthless tactics, along with his long-lasting legacy as a top heel, eclipses JBL's effective but more straightforward elitist character. Orton's versatility and consistent main event presence solidified his status as one of the best heels in wrestling history. Could not have said it better.
Yeah,
That
I
I mean, it's true. It's true. But yeah, Randy Orton.
definitely a hard one.
It was. It was. But Randy Orton moves on to the finals. But let's see who's going to face Randy Orton, either The Miz or Roman Reigns. Christina, who do you got? I know.
um, Roman Reigns.
Do we need an explanation, or is it just like
I mean, he's the goat. That's it.
yeah, yeah,
Enough said.
I mean, see. This is the thing. I don't know what ChatGPT is gonna say, but I want to. I love Roman Reigns. I feel like the ChatGPT is gonna go with Roman Reigns. I hope because I'm gonna go with the Miz. Um, I love the Miz's heel presence. He's done it a lot longer. I think the
Yeah.
longevity really um really helped him uh with his career and doing stuff with the main event scene when he faced Cena in 2011 and doing stuff in The Rock. Even though he wasn't the focal point of that story, even though he was in the match, it was The Rock versus Cena what people were talking about.
Yeah.
I think he pretty much as a heel was able to keep himself inserted in that storyline. And
He won't let you forget that he was in the main event of
yeah, yeah,
WrestleMania.
yeah, that is true. He always says
He
it all the
always
time.
talks about it. Yeah.
Yeah, but he deserved it though. I'm not
Yeah.
saying that he didn't. But I think that he was just so arrogant. Like he
Mhm.
was like he reminded me like a high school bully. Like
Yeah.
who hasn't grown up. Like he grown up as a heel. You can tell by the way he talks that he's like I said this before. He's passionate about his promos. Even the IC title segment on Talking Smack when you have with Daniel
Oh
Bryan,
yeah.
that I think that made him even a better heel than what he was
Yeah.
before, because that came from the heart, and he went in and he said what he needed to get off his chest,
Yeah.
um, and that got people to hate him even more. Like that's how you know how passionate he is about the business. Not saying that Roman isn't. I'm sure he is as well.
Yeah. I mean,
But
he
like
grew up in it.
yeah, he grew up in it. So the Miz is like I don't his heel was just something. His heel presence was something else. I love Roman's heel presence, and nothing. I know I said before that Roman's um heel character is like a god level, but I think in terms of being the favorite one, I think the Miz was my favorite as a heel.
Yeah. No,
Um,
it's definitely a hard choice. Like both are great. Like
yeah,
trust me, Roman and the Miz are two of my favorites. But you know,
yeah.
Roman's a little bit higher up on the on
Let
the.
let's see what ChatGPT has to say about this. Roman Reigns
Roman.
is the better heel. His tribal chief persona has reshaped his character to a dominating, complex villain, compelling audiences with his authority and emotional storytelling, particularly within the context of the bloodline. While The Miz excels at playing an arrogant, entertaining heel, Roman's depth, impact on the main event scene, and ability to generate intense heat set him apart as more effective and memorable things. I'm just realizing that they're saying the same thing every single round,
I
but
know. I was like, it
yeah,
sounds familiar, but
yeah, yeah. But who knows? It may switch up at the last round because we do got two great heels
oh my
in the
god.
final two: Randy Orton and Roman
And
Reigns.
gosh, two of the greatest to
Yeah,
ever do it.
yeah. Let's see who is winning this bracket. Um, are you gonna go with Roman Reigns again? Are you sticking with Roman Reigns?
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. Like Randy and Roman are just like two of my favorites of all time, and they're both so great.
Yeah,
And I feel like Randy is just like long term heel,
yeah,
but then Roman is like even though it's short term 4 years mostly that he's been a heel, he's just so good at it.
yeah.
Gosh, you pick first.
Okay. I'm gonna go with Randy because I think that Randy not just I'm not gonna say the longevity stuff because I know Roman Reigns has only been a heel for 4 years and they decided late to switch that, but I kind of feel like Randy he played it so well. He again the way he inserted his heel moves into a match. The way he talked on the mic, the way, and I remember there was a match he had against Cena for a title. He just slaps the ref in the face and gets him disqualified. Like who does stuff like that in a match? You know what I mean? Like I know
Heel.
Yeah, Roman. I know Roman usually talks during a match to the camera and says stuff. And I know that can kind of like get under people's skins, but it was like Randy Orton went above and beyond to make sure that people hated him, whether it was the littlest things in a match or the littlest things in a promo, his facial expressions, the way he presented himself. You could make the argument with Roman Reigns too, but like I think Randy's was creative with it. He knew what to do. He put all of his effort into it. So it's like, and that got him to being a future Hall of Famer. If he was a babyface throughout most of his career, I don't know how he would have been like. You know what I mean? It's one of
Yeah.
those questions that it's like I don't know how you would have been. So I'm gonna have to go with Randy on that one. Who do
Yeah.
you got?
Oh man, it's gonna break my heart, but I'm gonna agree with you and go with Randy.
Okay.
Nobody tell Roman though.
No, I won't show it to Roman. I promise. I
Don't
won't
let
show
him
it.
watch this podcast.
Yeah.
It's just, I love Roman and everything, but it's just gonna I'm just gonna base it off of like longevity. Randy was a heel for a longer period of time and he was great at it. Just when he would like he's another one like just walking down to the stage taking forever and just like looking at people
Yeah.
just like his facial expressions and like the way he acts, and then when he gets on top of the ring and he does his stretch, like,
Yeah.
yeah, I look good, I look
Yeah.
good, I look better than you. And it's just like it's two kids that were like born in they're, I think they're what, both third generations,
I
or
think so.
Roman's maybe
Yeah.
second, I don't know, but they're just like born in it, and they just have it.
Yeah. I completely agree. I understand with that. And even though Randy Orton won the bracket, let's see what Chat GPT has to say. Will Randy Orton sweep it? And he
Yep,
is.
he did.
Randy Orton is a better heel. His ability embodied a cold-blooded, sadistic villain has made him a master of psychological warfare. I think the same exact thing's the last round. Not going to
Yeah.
read the entire thing, but they did choose Randy Orton, and I think that concludes it for the bracket. Randy Orton is determined between the both of us and ChatGPT as the greatest heel of the 21st century. I do want to thank you, Christina, for helping me fill this bracket out. Thank you for choosing the topic and being on our show. Before we wrap it up, do you want to plug in your stuff?
Well, first, thanks for having me. Thanks for
You're
inviting me.
welcome.
I know you invited me a long time ago, and I was like, oh
Yeah.
my God, it's already time.
Yeah.
But yeah, pretty much it's just my handle is for everything: Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok. It's just Christina Wrestling and Makeup for everything. So yeah.
Nice, nice. I'll make sure to add all your links into the YouTube description so that way everyone can follow you and subscribe to all your platforms. And I do appreciate you once again for coming on the show. And I hope we can do a lot more collabs. There's many more collabs on the way, and we did discuss it a while back to do this, and we finally got it done.
Yes.
So I thank you again. My name is Nick, episode 9, season 2 of the Fanatic Brackets, and we will see you guys next